Hello children, welcome back. So children, we will continue with the chapter number 10, second part, the banyan tree. So children, in previous video we have seen that how the author Ruskin Bond, he was a young boy and he has described about the old banyan tree and about the friend small grey squirrel, and at last he is described about the fight between mongoose and cobra. Now we will move to the second part of the chapter. The warm breezes of approaching summer had sent everyone, including the gardener, into the house. Now it was very hot and warm breezes was approaching in summer, so all were inside their house, including the gardener. I was feeling drowsy myself, wondering if I should go to the pond and have a swim with Ramu and the buffalo. Now the Ruskin Bond, he is saying that I was feeling very hot, so I thought to go to the pond to have a swim with Ramu and buffalo, when I saw a huge black cobra gliding out of a clump of cactus. So here when he was thinking to go to the pond for swim with Ramu and buffalo, what he saw one black cobra coming out from the cactus plant. At the same time, a mongoose emerged from the bushes and went straight for the cobra. Now here the author saw that the black cobra coming out of the cactus, and at the same time mongoose also came out from the bushes and the mongoose went straight in front of the cobra. In a clearing beneath the banyan tree in bright summer sunshine, they came face to face. Now both of them, cobra and mongoose, they both came face to face. The cobra knew only too well that the grey mongoose, 3 feet long, was a superb fighter, clever and aggressive. Now here the cobra, he knew that mongoose is a superb fighter, clever and very angry animal, and he is 3 feet long. But the cobra too was a skillful and experienced fighter. He could move swiftly and strike with the speed of light, and the sack between his long sharp fangs were full of deadly poison. So children, here the cobra thought that mongoose is a superb fighter, clever and aggressive, but cobra also, he was very skillful and experienced fighter. He could move slowly and swiftly and strike with the speed of light, and he had a deadly poison in his mouth. He has a long sharp fangs which was full of deadly poison. Now it was to be a battle of champion. Hissing defense, his forked tongue darting in and out, the cobra raised 3 of his 6 feet off the ground and spread his broad speckled hood. The mongoose bushed his tail, the long hair on his spine stood up. Now here both are ready for the fight. So the author claims both of them as a champion. Now here the cobra raised 3 of his 6 feet off the ground when he saw the mongoose, and spread his broad speckled hood. The mongoose also bushed his tail, the long hair on his spine stood up. Though the combatants were unaware of my presence in the tree, they were soon made aware of the arrival of 2 other spectators. Now here both of them, means the author is saying that both the champion, mongoose and cobra, they are unaware that author is seeing their fight from the tree, and also they were unaware that 2 other spectators came to see their fight. One was a manna and other a jungle crow. Now who were the 2 spectators who came to see their fight? One was manna and other was jungle crow. They had seen these preparations for battle and had settled on the cactus to watch the outcome. Now both of them, manna and jungle crow, they made the preparation to see the battle and they settled themselves on the cactus plant to see the fight and the result. Had they been content only to watch, all would have been well with both of them. So both of them were ready to watch the fight between the two champions. The cobra stood on the defensive, swaying slowly from side to side, trying to mesmerize the mongoose into making a false move. So here the cobra, he stood on the defensive side and he was making a very slow movement to make the mongoose confused, and making a false move. But the mongoose knew the power of his opponent's glassy, unwinkling eyes and refused to meet them. Here, the mongoose was also very clever. He was ignoring the cobra's movement by not putting his eyes on him. Instead, he fixed his gaze at a point just below the cobra's hood and opened the attack. So, instead of looking into his eyes, the mongoose, he fixed his eyes on the cobra's hood where the deadly poison was there, and he opened the attack. Moving forward quickly until he was just within the cobra's reach, the mongoose made a pretended move to one side. So, moving towards the cobra's reach, the mongoose, he pretended to move very slowly in one side. Immediately the cobra stuck. His great hood came down so swiftly that I thought nothing could save the mongoose. Now here, when mongoose started the fight, so cobra, immediately he stuck. His great hood came down so swiftly, so author thought that now nobody could save the mongoose. But the little fellow jumped neatly to one side and darted in as swiftly as the cobra, biting the snake on the back and darting away again out of reach. So here, when cobra attacked mongoose, the little fellow mongoose, he neatly saved himself by jumping to one side and slowly in as swiftly as the cobra, biting the cobra on his back and darting away again on the out of reach. So he bit the cobra on his back and again he moved from there very swiftly. At the same moment, the cobra struck the crow and the manna hurled themselves at him only to collide heavenly in midair. Shrinking insult at each other, they returned to the cactus plant. A few drops of blood glistened on the cobra's back. So children, when mongoose attacked cobra on his back, at the same moment, crow and manna, they both hurled themselves in the air and up in the sky they collide with each other very heavily. Then again they came back to the cactus plant. A few drops of blood glistened on the cobra's back. So children, here the two birds, manna and crow, they both settled themselves again on the cactus plant and they saw the few drops of blood was coming out from cobra's back. Why? Because mongoose had bitten the cobra's back. The cobra struck and missed. Again the mongoose sprang aside, jumped and bite. So here again the cobra missed the fight and again the mongoose jumped towards the cobra and he bite the cobra. Again the birds dived at the snake, bumped into each other instead and returned shrieking to the safety of the cactus. So as the mongoose jumped on the cobra, both the birds got afraid. They also flew away in the sky, but again they came back to the safety to the cactus plant. The third round followed the same course as the first, but with one dramatic difference. The crow and the manna, still determined to take part in the proceeding, dived at the cobra, but this time they missed each other as well as their mark. So children, again the fight have started. The third round of the fight was started, and here the crow and the manna, they still determined to take part in the proceeding. They wanted to take part in the fight. So as the fight started, the crow and manna, they dived at each other, and what happened? But this time they missed each other as well as their mark. The manna flew on and reached its perch, but the crow tried to pull up in midair and turned back. In the second that it took the bird to do this, the cobra wiped his head back and struck with great force, his snout thudding against the crow's body. So when crow again pulled up himself in the mid-air, and when he turned back, in the second the cobra whipped his head back and struck with great force on crow's body, and the crow came on the ground. He fell on the ground and he was dead. I saw the bird flung nearly 20 feet across the garden. It fluttered about for a while, then lay still. The manna remained on the cactus plant. So children, here the author Ruskin Bond is saying that I saw the crow. He fell nearly from 20 feet across the garden. He fell from 20 feet in the garden, and then for a meanwhile he fluttered himself, and then he was lay still. That means he was dead. The manna remained on the cactus plant, and when the snake and the mongoose returned to the fight, very wisely decided not to interfere again. The cobra was weakening and the mongoose walking fearlessly up to it. Now here, when manna saw that crow is dead, so the manna settled himself on the cactus plant, and there the manna decided not to interfere in the fight. And here the snake and the mongoose, they returned to the fight, and they were fighting very wisely, and the cobra was weakening and the mongoose walking fearlessly towards the cobra. Raised himself on his short legs, and with a lightning snap had the big snake by the snout. Now here the snake, the cobra, raised himself. He was having a short leg and he raised himself with a lightning snap, and in front of the mongoose he was snorting. The cobra wriggled and lashed about in a frightening manner and even collided itself by the mongoose, but to no avail. The little fellow hung grimly on until the snake had ceased to struggle. He then smelt among its squirming lengthy, gripped it round the hood and dragged it into the bushes. The manna dropped consciously to the ground, hopped about, peered into the bushes from a safe distance, and then with a shrill cry of congratulations flew away. So here the mongoose and cobra, they started fighting, and they fighted. Very scarily fight was going on between them. A frightening fight was going on between mongoose and snake, cobra, and then the mongoose, he smashed the cobra into the bushes, and manna, when he saw that the cobra is being smashed into the bushes from the safe distance, the manna gave a big shrill cry of congratulations to the mongoose, because the mongoose have won the fight. And with a great shrill cry, she congratulated the mongoose, and manna flew away. So children, I hope you all have understood the story. So I will send you the PDF of this chapter. Till then, stay safe.